Okay, we are back in Legend of Heroes, Trails in Azure, and it's time for the final patrol, boys. Honestly, I probably should have gone back to holding up at my base on the Geofront. What's going on with you guys? It's too fun to pass up, though, so since I'm already here, I think I'll just stick around till the end. Better be grateful, got that? I can sense a presence similar to Kia's emanating from that tree. Maria Bell stated that the tree itself is Kia, correct? Still not sure what to make of that. What could she be trying to achieve by bringing it into existence? And the moment we've been waiting for, boys. So I mentioned before that in the previous video, there was a reason I was doing all of these patrols. Here's part 1. Hey Lloyd, you look like you didn't get much sleep last night. Are you doing okay? I think so. Probably just fatigue from having to juggle so many crises all at once. If you say so, just try not to push yourself too hard, okay? I don't know what I'd do with myself if I lost you, the others, or Adios forbid, no-y. I get scared about it sometimes. It's okay, Fran, we'll be careful. Being careful isn't enough, you need to rest up during times like these. I know, I can give you a back massage if you want. If you focus on the right pressure points, I can take out those knots like pow, instant energy. Sounds more painful than relaxing. No, I'm good. I really appreciate the thought, though. Just talking with you is enough to lift my spirits, Fran. Wow, really? You don't know how happy I am to hear that. After all, boosting the team's morale is one of my responsibilities as your operator. And trust me, you do a stellar job of it. Triple S would have had a hard time working through the stress without your smiling face to greet us on the terminal screen. I'm sure everyone at the department feels the same way about working with you. Come on, now you're just flattering me. But you're right about one thing, Lloyd. I'll always be there to cheer you and the Triple S on. That's why I want you to have this. Fran's charm. Is this a good luck charm? Yep, don't be shy. Go on and take it. I made it as a way to pray for your guys' safety, so I'm sure it'll work like a, well, you know. I bet it will. Thanks for this, Fran. Take good care of it, okay? So, in case you're wondering... A keepsake from Fran, a handmade trinket filled with love. If you notice, it makes you tanky and it gives you evasion. Thing is, I'm more offensive focused there, so... It could be helpful if you want to make like a secondary dodge tank like Risha. Breaking news! Massive tree springs out of wetlands. You can't just make this stuff up. Thing's taller than Orca's Tower. I bet you can even see it from the Empire and the Republic. Then again, the entire continent already has its eyes on Crossbill, Azure Tree or no. Wasn't gonna miss the opportunity to cover this. What's a few years off my life in return for the story of the century? And if you remember, yes, you can see the Azure Tree from the Empire and Cold Steel. Wonder if Belle planned on discarding her father from the very beginning. And I think Mr. Grimman was the mastermind behind their whole plan. Can't make any sense of this, but the more I linger on it, the more confused I get. There's one thing I know for sure, though. We have no choice but to venture to that Azure Tree. I have a score to settle in that giant tree. Only then will I be able to come to terms with myself. My mind is made. We should depart as soon as our preparations are complete. Reach has fulfilled her promise to herself now that Arkansas and Crossbill City are free. Maybe she can be convinced to visit Ilia and St. Ursula before we storm the Azure Tree. Whether you will manage to have any impact whatsoever on the Azure Tree, I can't say. Its power rivals that of even the goddess herself, and that is no exaggeration. Never did I imagine the obsessive delusions of man would be powerful enough to spawn such a thing. That giant tree showing up has even the holy city of Arteria in an uproar. What we have here is an unanticipated miracle, one that wasn't even referenced in any of the church's testaments. The salt pail that struck Northumbria was the same way. It's only natural our leadership would be cautious. But as long as Kia is in there, we can't afford to drag our feet. I'll take full responsibility with the church for whatever we do from here, so let us know when you're ready to head for that tree. You're going to want to stock up before we make our way to the Azure Tree. That said, there's a limit to what we can provide here. Maybe a good idea checking on your allies around Crossbill and visiting any facilities we don't have on board. You never know what could happen next. Make sure you don't leave any regrets behind. So, just to show you, there's nothing we really need here. Who cares what that huge tree is? As far as we're concerned, it's just another weed for us to pull, am I right, Lloyd? As long as we remember that we're fighting to bring Keto back, we're golden. So come on, if we have time to sit around and gossip, we may as well get to storming that thing. With Arios gone, command of the CDF has been transferred to Commander Bales. Her forces will have their hands full quelling the civil unrest caused by the Azure Tree's sudden appearance. I'm tempted to go down and help them, but I know the situation is under control with the commander at the helm. Let's keep moving forward. We have our own mission to complete. So I was curious, they capitalized the T in tree here, but they did not when Grace said it, so that's probably a typo. And to put it into context, the typos in this game are very few and far between relative to Reverie, where there's at least one per video. And the sad part is I'm even counting the combat videos in that list. Tension aboard feels even higher than it was while we were working to liberate Crossbow City. It's going to be our final stretch. ADOS be with you all. So just out of curiosity, does Dudley... That was cheap. Let me look real quick. Yeah, I think we have everything we need. Cat's curling up into the microphones, just a heads up if you hear the purring. Or her rubbing against it, one of the two. We have hit 3s, we're good on that front. The hits are much more important in Cold Steel and Beyond, because how they rework the accuracy. But anyway, part 2. There's something I want to tell you, Bannings. You've grown a lot this past year. Come again? It's obvious now that I've been able to observe you and your team at work. Your deductive and investigative skills are sound. You're not the fresh-faced rookie you used to be. You still got a long way to go before you measure up to Guy and McLean when they were on the force, but you're on the right path. Seems as the right call to have you train with the 1st Division. Where is this coming from all of a sudden? I'm not done yet. Pipe down and listen. Yes, sir? Now, even though I compared you to Guy and McLean just now, that doesn't mean you should try and emulate them. You have your own unique merits. Develop them, and you'll become that much closer to becoming a first-rate detective. I hope you take this to heart and work even harder to carve out your own niche. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Nothing really, I'm just surprised is all. It's not like you to dole out compliments, Dudley. Now listen here, the future of the Defense Force depends on how this all goes down, but the CPD will continue to exist no matter what. When this is all over and done with, I'm sure there will still be a place for you on the Force. I simply felt I should offer my guidance as a senior detective of the 1st Division in order to prepare you. Nothing more. So that's how it is. Thank you, Dudley. I'll keep on striving to live up to your expectations of me. Don't put words in my mouth, Bannings. Everything I've said is based on my objective analysis of what you've accomplished up to this point. More importantly, unless this current crisis is resolved and the truth is brought to light, there won't be a future for either of us. How long will it be before he finally opens up about the way he feels? Wipe that grin off your face, Bannings. Sorry. Heart of Iron 2. Detective Do-Right unlocked. Reference to Dudley Do-Right, of course. You have your own unique merits. Develop them, and you'll become that much closer to becoming a first-rate detective. Hope you'll take this to heart and work even harder to carve out your own niche. So, yes, that's just a repeat. Even the Church is yet to discern the true meaning behind the Azure Tree's emergence. There's no telling what would happen were we to enter it. Alternatively, you can use this time to visit other locations around Crossbell. If there's other business you need to take care of, perhaps that should take precedence. Well, let's go then. So... I want to go mess up Cryon. I already know he's in the chest, just I don't think I mentioned it before. But, yeah, we're gonna go say hi. Chicago style. Okay, beatdown is this way. All aboard the pain train, boys. And yes, I will pass. I am passing up on the tomato this time. So anyway, if you want to get a little bit more prepared before you take on Cryon, by all means, you can go pick up the ultimate weapons. Can we just fake that? Ooh. Okay. That's cool. I don't remember where the chest is. Another one of you guys. See, I'm not even gonna bother fighting that just yet. We should actually be able to go down there if we were so inclined. Okay, where is it? I actually don't know if there's any sort of reward for popping all of the cryptids. I fought that because I wasn't sure if I fought it before. But anyway, it's only 2 levels higher than us. And it's my nemesis from Sky. 6 of them, in fact. I actually don't know what they're weak to offhand. I don't think I can even move them either. Oh, that sucks. No particular weakness, just a water resistance. A rare ice monster that freezes moisture inside its body. This allows for powerful ice arts. Stigma OP, boys. Your move. So, yeah, that kind of happened. Rainy just shows up and poaches the kill. All that for the Mercury Bell. Hello, Bracer Guild? Yes, the chest grabber is right here in front of me. Please, send someone quick. So I lose out on the HP, but we get the immediate action after a water spell. Now that I think about it... I think Gorgon Breath is new. We can see the Yggdrasil spell right there. Anyway, I'm gonna go ruin that Cryptid's day. Although, is it faster? Yeah, we'll fly to the Academy. Did it leave? There it is. Hey, buddy, you're a long way from home. Only level 84. So keep in mind the burst is really overkill. Nope. Actually, yeah, we should hold off on the Police Academy because we have to deliver the dishes there. So I think we'll be seeing them in the side quest videos. We can hit up the gates at least. My knees practically gave out when that tree appeared in the wetlands. Wish there was some way I could help, but this is too much for a lowly private like myself to handle. For now, I need to focus on upholding my duties as a Defense Force soldier. Hey, Randy, Triple S, it's been a while since I've seen you guys around. Yo, Carter, how's hanging near Belgard? Pretty messy, to be honest, the situation being what it is. The commander has us on the lookout for a potential invasion by the Imperial Army, but seeing as Erebony is caught up in a civil conflict right now, I doubt we'll have anything to worry about. That's not true. Or that's true, not to make light of war, but it may be a blessing in disguise. Still, sounds like things are pretty stressful. Try to hang in there, yeah? Leave it to us. We'll show you guys what the Defense Force is all about. Want to make sure there's no one hiding and smoking in the parking lot or anything. So much has happened so quickly. Our independence being declared invalid, the Secretary of Defense going missing, and now the detainment of the President. Makes you wonder how much longer there's even going to be a cross-belt Defense Force. Been mulling over my doubts for hours, and it isn't helping. There's a civil war raging in the Empire, but even still I want to return to my homeland. Never in a million years would I have guessed the bridge was going to be destroyed, though. What are we going to do now? Just because the bridge between Crossbell and Erebony is destroyed doesn't mean we shouldn't be worried of the Imperial Army. If they wanted to invade, they could get that bridge back up in no time. For better or worse, though, the Empire's caught up in a civil conflict right now. That'll give us time to prepare. Okay, I just want to make sure that was the one I spoke to already. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. All I know is that I want to protect what's important to me. So here goes nothing. First things first, I need to eat and build up my strength. Everyone is uneasy right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine in the end. After all, Kless said he'll protect me no matter what. In return, I'm going to do what I can to raise the Guardsmen's spirits. Times like these are horrible for your mental health, so when you rest, set a few moments aside to relax your mind as well. Maybe I should take that advice myself and begin to wonder if we'll ever see a day of peace again. The commander sided with the Defense Force and the second lieutenant started the Resistance. Each chose their own separate path after careful consideration. As for the rest of the guardsmen, most of us got so swept up with the excitement of becoming the CDF that we just went with the flow. Makes me feel a little pathetic. We came to Belgard Gate in hopes of returning to the Empire, but nobody ever told us that Guerrilla Fortress has been reduced to nothing. How are we supposed to get home now? Yeah, I don't really want to look at the Cold Steel videos to try to find out where everything lines up. Just be aware if you want to see the whole Guerrilla thing from the Empire's point of view. I do have all of Cold Steel on the channel already. The Imperial nobles have deployed an aerial warship for use in their civil war. Something like this repaired with the Imperial Army's armored divisions, the Empire would be unstoppable. Can't be the only one wishing we still had those ions to protect us. Personally, I'm glad we don't have those ions anymore. I don't think any person should be allowed to wield that kind of power. Commander Bales, I was wondering where you were. Hello there, Triple S. Quite the view, ain't it? We saw it happen too, that white Aeon obliterating the railway guns in the blink of an eye. She didn't do it herself, but Kia's power was still the cause of this. We received some intriguing intel from the Empire that you may like to hear, though we have no way to confirm it. There are soldiers unaccounted for, but the Imperial Army has yet to confirm a single casualty as a result of the Ion's attack. Are you saying they could still be alive? If what happened to the fortress, it would have to be a miracle. Again, that isn't confirmed, nor do we understand what happened during the attack from a scientific standpoint. But the matter that was affected by the White Aeon's ability to manipulate space may not be destroyed per se. If that's the case, then Kia may have influenced the miracle subconsciously. I'm sure Erebony is suffering enough due to the war. It would be a relief if their soldiers could be returned. By the way, I heard the good news. Your operation across the city was quite the success, it seems. Went better than we ever could have expected. We wouldn't have pulled it off if not for you, Commander. It was your slip of the tongue that allowed us to pursue the declaration of invalidity. Please, I didn't do anything of note. Everything you have achieved is of your own doing. I have merely commanded the Crossbow Defense Force in accordance with the orders I was given by the President. Now that the state's independence has been called into question, I may not be fit to serve in this position any longer. Wait, what are you saying? That would be going a bit overboard, don't you think? You needn't worry, I fully understand what's required of me here and now. As for what I'll do when this is all over, however, that's harder to say. Regardless, for the time being, I'll carry out my role as commander to the best of my ability. Nope, there's no bonus from her, in case you're wondering. Down here. It's our last time here, guys, so I had to mess it up one final time, you know? Wrong spot. Actually, let's just top off Ellie, just in case. So I do have to work my way to the boathouse so we can check on the Imperials. Wasn't this girl supposed to know the safe way to take? I'd sign up to run a marathon down the entire highway. Idiots, I thought I was gonna die. We ran into a crypt on the way here. I half expected it to kill us. At least we made a Tangram Gate, now we just need to cross over to the Republic. We will be able to go back, right? Even with the barrier gone, we didn't have an actual car to get home with. That girl we ran into offered to guide us here, but then a cryptid showed up out of nowhere. Should have known hitchhiking would have been easier. I met these boys near the east exit of the city. Said they were headed to Tangram Gate, so I decided to bring them along as my bodyguards. But as it turns out, they were totally useless. Yep, that sounds like the three of them, alright. You guys, wait, I just remembered, we're not supposed to arrest you anymore. Wonder what the Defense Force even aimed to accomplish in the end. When it was established, it felt like the CGF finally found its pride, or at least that's how I saw it. They sold us a dream, one that we're only just beginning to wake up from. The Republican Army seems to have gone on standby in response to that blue tree appearing. Even still, caution is an absolute must now that we have no barrier or ions to back us up. At this point, the CDF is Crossbow's last bastion of defense. We need to be as vigilant as humanly possible. Dad, I want to go home. Even with the barrier gone, we still can't return to the Republic. I just want to get my little boy to safety. Any Kelvardians who didn't get out of Crossbow before the barrier went up have been gathering at the gate. But seeing as we can't relax our guard against the Republic right now, we have no choice but to stop them from passing. Makes me feel a little bad, actually. I can empathize with their desire to go home. Situation abnormal. There's a giant tree out in the wetlands. I assume the capital B is intentional, as she's trying to stress the ab part. Just when the world is it? Or that's a guy. Just when the world is that thing? I haven't been able to sit still since it appeared. I know things aren't great right now, but would you like anything to eat? Being hungry just compounds your anxiety and irritation, you know. Your mind will feel a lot calmer after a nice big meal. Wouldn't you know it, I don't have much of an appetite right now. No, that won't do. I'm in a position where I need my nutrients, even if I have to force-feed myself to eat. The Empire or the Republic could invade us at a moment's notice. I have to be ready to protect our state. Rumor has that Ilya's regained consciousness. It's true the Crossbow is in for some rough times ahead. But so long as we have Ilya as our guiding light, I just know everything will be okay. Actually, yeah, we need to go in here. With the future being as uncertain as it is, Deputy Commander Douglas has gone back to the city to figure out what our plan should be going forward. Between that big blue tree and the potential invasion from the Empire or Republic, we've got a lot of problems on our hands. How much the Defense Force will be able to help remains to be seen, but I'd like to do whatever I can to keep hope alive. And since she's walking around, she obviously isn't in the room, but I had to make sure. And then they just told us he's in the city. Nothing out here. Well, let's go up to the 3rd floor. That tree. I bet you can see it from every point in the state. It appearing out of nowhere is like something out of a fairy tale. What's going to happen to Crossbow next? Your guess is as good as mine. We're continuing to monitor the Republic per the Deputy Commander's orders. That said, it was only with the power of the Ions that we were able to keep the major powers' armies at bay before. Next time they press us, we probably won't be able to stop them. And just think, if not for Lecter and Kilika, they wouldn't actually know that the Ions are gone. And poor Potter Mater. back there. I just remembered we need to get to the boathouse. Can we skip straight to the boathouse, maybe? Well, at least we know there's no cryptid back there. Nope. Stop, Lloyd. I've forgotten that man Certain was the one allowing us to stay here. He's ruined our precious alone time, and for that he's going to pay. Well, didn't think I'd find you here, Lake Lord. I believe you said we were free to use this boathouse as we saw fit. You've no right to complain now. Of course not. A promise is a promise. Still, this place isn't exactly convenient. You know you're welcome to join us at the branch office in town, right? Please, we haven't fallen so low that we need charity from the likes of you. Damn it all, we're supposed to be mortal enemies. Why is he acting so chummy? It's unbecoming is what it is. He won't win me over that easily. It takes resilience to live out here for over a month the way these two have. Looks like they've been drying fish and foraging for edible wild grass to scrape by. That deserves some kind of respect. Anyway, I'm going to walk to Armorica because they mentioned something about a cryptid. There it is. Kite in the shell. Wasn't sure if it was going to be on that screen or what. So I intentionally did not look at the terminal because the final missions for the game are posted. You may actually want to fight the bees, just get a couple more U materials if you're so inclined. I don't know if you're able to go into Stargazers, but that might be the easiest place to farm materials. So I'll make sure it's not up here. Okay, just want to be thorough. It's to the ancient battlefield. Okay, if it wasn't here, it's not going to be up there, I think. Measly 10 space up at the end of the game. No comment. Just one of the goddesses' green earth is with their tree off in the distance. Doesn't matter which way you slice it, that just ain't normal. Well, I want to take my drives in peace again. You tell me those days are over forever? Afraid so. Okay, the card crashed. Been a little while since that happened. They say the president was arrested in the city. The bracer made his way over to the village the moment travel restrictions were lifted. Given everything happening in Crossbow, we need one another more than ever. I was afraid Jake would buckle under the pressure when that tree appeared, but thanks to Harold's advice, he looks more motivated than ever before. Our grandson's finally managed to find his mercantile spirit deep down. As long as he has that, I think he'll be just fine. Mr. Hayworth gave me some advice before he left. In times like these, our business is to do good business for the good of all. He was so right. If running Graham's store can help this village, then I'm going to give it everything I've got. Okay, no new crossbow times. Colin went home to the city with his dad, but he promised to come back and play again someday. A massive tree pops up out of nowhere, but Camille and Polly are as relaxed as ever. Still, it's one of the reasons I like them so much. I'll have to be ready to reel those two in if anything bad happens. Grown-ups are all freaking out, but I think that tree is the coolest thing ever. Climbing up something that big would be super duper fun, I bet. We'll have to let you know. Ange, am I seeing things, or is that a gigantic tree in those wetlands over yonder? What in darnation's happening? How's a man supposed to farm like this? Pull yourself together, Donald. You need to be the man of the house at times like these for Camille and Polly's sakes. Donald's a bit of a yellow streak, so I have to light a fire under him from time to time. When the going gets tough, it's on us to dig deep and push our way through. Ange is right, ain't she? How are the villagers supposed to get food if us farmers don't farm? They can scavenge, cannibalize, their ways. I've been looking for a way to deal with the paloma grass in these lotus fields. Problem is, the moment you weed it out, it grows right back. If only we could get rid of it altogether. Agreed. Removing those plants should be a top priority, seeing as they're known to cause cryptids to appear. Yeah, I'm gonna try some things out for now and see if I can make any progress. By the way, there's something I want you all to know. It's time. I'm ready to set a date and tie the knot with Pearl. I haven't actually brought it up to her yet, with everything going on, but preparations are already underway. Oh my, congratulations to you both. Thanks. I think this latest round of drama reminded me how much I love her. She's the one I'm fighting to protect. You'll get your invitations once the date is set. Hope you can make it. I've kept Pearl waiting for long enough. I'm finally ready to set a date and get married. For me, being a bracer isn't just about protecting Crossbell. I've always been fighting to protect her, too. None of us could have expected things to take a turn like this. Crossbell's burgeoning growth as a trade city and forceful bid for independence have stirred up the entire continent. It's possible that this is all retribution for pursuing so much wanton innovation with little to no regard for tradition. Even then, that's no reason to just sit back and accept it for what it is. Say this really is a trial from Adios. She could be testing us to see if we can overcome it. Maybe so. Perhaps it's time I changed my rigid way of thinking. Harold returned to the city earlier today, and now Derek and I are discussing how best to guide the village moving forward. We could have used Harold's expertise for a while longer, but I understand why he had to leave. Said he had other places he wanted to help. It wouldn't have been fair for us to ask him to stay. That giant tree is putting all the villagers on edge. And although the president was arrested, that blue grass hasn't left our fields, and cryptids still roam the highway. I'll advise the villagers to remain cautious. We're not through the storm just yet. Looking at that azure-colored tree makes me awfully uneasy. Can't afford to be frozen in fear, though. Derek and Tolta are working hard for the village, and I need to support them. Gable, you still here? Just wanted to make sure. Gotta be thorough, you know? Truth be told, a guy like me can't make heads or tails of that tree. But it's not gonna stop me from protecting Celie no matter what. I told her that and she laughed right in my face. Never used to pay much mind to Keith's advances. But he surprised me this time. Can't believe I'm saying it, but he's more of a man than I gave him credit for. Guess I owe the guy an apology for cracking up at him. Nah, he's cool. Between the occasional cryptid and that tree showing up, traveling the highways is still a little dicey. That didn't stop Harold from leaving, though. He promised to bring back a book I'd like the next time he comes. Isn't it just like him to be so thoughtful? I can hardly wait for his next trip here. That tree put my jaw right on the floor, that's for sure. Still, when things get this flabbergasted, it's important to take a step back from it and decompress. Speaking of which, a worn-out priest and sister checked in a little bit ago. Think I'll bring them some coffee later. Wonder who that could be. Wait, is that Rias? So this is where you two have been. Triple S. What's up, Wazy? Lloyd, how's it going? We heard about your victory. Yep, big ups for shooting that high-flying Aeon out of the sky. It truly is a spectacular feat. Well done. Thanks. We didn't exactly come out of it unscathed, though. I had to go all out, so I'm pretty drained right now. It's gonna take me a bit to recharge. Avis did mention something about that. The power you have comes at a great cost, correct? Let me guess, you channeled your Stigma's power into the Merkaba and released it all at once. Oh, Kevin, how reckless can you get? The last thing the Growlsweater needs is for the 5th spot to be vacant again. It was that dangerous? It was. Stigmas are a source of forbidden power that is difficult for the human body to contain. There's a limit to how much can be released at one time. A Dominion would never be so foolish or reckless as to push that limit. Not a responsible one, anyway. Sheesh, Rias, I said I was sorry. Give me a break already, will ya? She's really got your number. The Growlsweater Dominions are a far cry from what I've heard about them. In other news, how about our last-second twist down in the wetlands, eh? The Azure Tree, a miracle born of mankind's obstinance. It's unthinkable that any being apart from Adios could manifest something like that. And at its core is Kia's power. That's right. In all honesty, we have yet to come to terms with it ourselves. But even still, we plan to close this case our way. This is personal for us. Not just as the Triple S, but as Kia's family. I never doubted it. You made your stance pretty clear the last time we were face to face. Our Merkaba's gonna be out of commission for a while. We'll come lend you a hand, though, if we can get it back up and running. And even if we don't, I know Adios will be protecting you. Be careful, everyone. You got it, Rias. We'll just be going then. During Sunday school, Kia would always talk about how much fun she was having with you all. Perhaps a squire of the Growlsweater, such as myself, shouldn't be interjecting with her personal feelings. But I want nothing more than for you to bring her home and put a smile on her face. Thank you, Rias. Hers is a smile worth protecting. Our Merkaba's going to be out of commission for a while. We'll come lend you a hand, though, if we can get it back up and running. Anyways, you better not do anything too crazy out there. Take it from me, blow through your power all at once and it's going to hurt. If it doesn't outright kill you, that is. Right, I'll take that to heart. Oh yeah, before I forget, take this, Lloyd. Zemurian Ore Shard. So, if you go to the places where the ions were, you can pick these up and make an ultimate weapon. For real? Where did you get this? Found out where the ion crashed. Probably broke off on impact. I picked it up thinking you might be able to put it to good use. Maybe you will, maybe you won't, but go ahead and have it anyway. If you insist. Thanks, Father Kevin. So that means we'll get one from Joshua and Estelle. There's one on top of Orcus Tower, and I'm not sure where the other two are to make the entire ore. Harold's family returned to the city. I was just getting to know Sophia, so I was sad to see them go, but I understand why they had to. Huh. I thought there were more NPCs here, but maybe that was the end. Huh, you can go to Michelin. I'll probably hit up St. Ursula's after this, because there's going to be a few things there, as you might imagine. What's with that pale blue tree in the distance? Maine's one of the highest places in the state, and it's still taller. It's crazy. Grandma's the history buff around here, and even she's never seen anything like it. I'm starting to get the jitters. This big weird tree popped up out of nowhere outside. But Daddy's been smiling ever since the mine opened back up, and as long as Daddy's happy, that makes me happy too. All the folks in Maine's are real proud of our mine. It's that pride that'll carry us through the rough times no matter how crazy things get. Sure, you'll have something you can't give up on too. Never forget that. I had to exterminate some particularly dangerous monsters when they opened the mine back up. They were nothing special compared to the magic golems that are cryptid, but still, hunting monsters solo is no easy task. Wow, still pretty incredible of you. Just goes to show they make bracers out of sterner stuff over in the Empire. You flatter me. Erebonian is currently embroiled in civil war. I won't deny my concerns over how my homeland is doing. But now's not the time for that. We have other issues lying before us. If I can't handle them now, then I don't deserve to look back on the past or toward the future. Never goes easy on himself, does he? I fear it may be too early to open the mine, but if we want to bring the entire town together as one, there's really no way around it. I'd rather not see my husband go back down there, but I know he needs to. I have to support him. Times are tough right now, but we've got to do everything we can to keep mains kicking. Maybe if I do enough, Luke will eventually come around on me. I was thinking of heading straight to the casino now that we can travel to the city again, but in the end I've decided to roll up my sleeves here at work before anything else. Alright, let's do this. Reopening the mine is a pain in the ass, but you know what? I missed it when it was closed. Not working here just didn't feel right. Guess I've got mining in my blood after all. I had a talk with Mayor Bixon when we agreed to reopen the mine. These septium veins carry the lifeblood of our village, and the way I see it, mains need this place to move forward. We've been away for a while, but now I can finally get back to it. Time to make up for all that lost digging. Everyone's really raring to go after being away from the mines for so long. Me? I'm about to explode. Dig, dig, and dig some more. That's what we miners do. After all of that commotion way down south, a couple of exhausted bracers and a crying little girl showed up here. Guessing they were part of the group that freed Crossbill City. We're happy to host them for as long as they need. Any allies of the Resistance are allies of ours. Gans and Marla looked weirdly giddy while they were on their way to work. I'll bet they were planning to throw a party tonight to celebrate the mine's reopening. Jeez, what a pain. But considering everything else going on outside the village, it's a relief to know some things never change. No one in those rooms, and you know who's in here since they told you. Hey guys. Hello? Estelle, Joshua. So this is where you went after the operation. We heard you guys laid waste to one of those ions. Indeed, with Pottermodder, you almost make for a formidable team. Yeah. Well, it's true that we wouldn't be here if not for his sacrifice. Huh? Come to think of it, where's Ren? Fast asleep. Miss Maester Jurg. We weren't aware you were here. Well, I am, at their request. Despite the chaos outside, I couldn't stay away after Pottermodder's death. The Archism died? Wait, so you mean... Yeah, he grabbed that blue Aeon, dragged it back up into the clouds, and then... he self-destructed. Completely of his own volition. So that's what happened. That machine opted to sacrifice itself? Pottermodder. She's probably been crying for hours, huh? Poor girl must be tuckered out by now. Of course she is. The two were so close they were practically inseparable. Pottermodder resigned itself to its fate. I cannot help but admire the heart it displayed in choosing to give its own life to protect that girl. As a doll maker, I couldn't be prouder. Maester. We've been getting reports about what's going on. Things have gotten worse, haven't they? We'd be happy to lend you guys some help once we've fully recovered. Thanks, you two, but you don't have to worry about that. Your health should be your top priority right now. Take all the time you need. Not saying we want to end up like the Little Missy's doll, but taking Keto back is something we gotta do on our own. No holds barred. We can respect that. Good luck, guys. Be careful out there. May the goddess protect you all. We were told that Professor Novartis has already left Crossbill too. Must be a relief to know that you won't have to deal with the society from here on. To be honest, we're not even sure what their goal here was. Though from the sound of it, their sights are squarely set on the Empire. The Phantasmal Blaze plan. What they did in Crossbill may have only been the first ripple of a much larger scheme. I hope Olivier and the others are alright. When you say Olivier, you're talking about Prince Olivert, yeah? That's right, we haven't been able to get in contact with him since the Civil War in Erebony began. He's probably not in any danger, as long as Mueller's with him. But then again, it's natural to be worried given the circumstances. Oh, that reminds me, you should all have this. Another shard. Where'd you get this? We found it near where Pottermodder passed away. I'm assuming it broke off the ion. Maybe you can find a good use for it. I see, we'll try our best to. The Azure Tree. I think whatever's going on there is not on an even greater scale than when the Liber Arc showed up in Liberl. Be careful, everyone. You guys better be careful out there. Give him a good fight, but please don't end up like Potter Mater, you got that? Yeah, loud and clear still. You know, we probably wouldn't be alive and kicking right now either if it weren't for the big guy. We should have thanked him at the doll studio while we had the chance. Yeah, I wish we could have gotten to spend more time with him too. Don't worry about Ren, by the way. She's grown a lot stronger over these last 6 months, and she's not alone anymore. I know she can make it through this. That's great to hear. Please, give her our regards when she wakes up. Potter Mater's logic circuits were not originally designed with autonomous functionality in mind. Perhaps through its time with Ren, it acquired something akin to a soul. I've been a doll maker for decades now, but evidently I still have much to learn. Potter Mater, why did you... Ren, we should let her rest. So with that, we have to continue exploring, folks. We're not done yet. Morale and the rest of the former CGF members fought hard for us through their resistance efforts, and for so long too. They thanked us repeatedly before leaving town, but really we're the ones who owe them a great debt. I'd like to invite them back to Mainz once all of this is over and done with. I hear the guards who joined the resistance are now working with the defense force. Once President Qual was arrested, the hostilities had no reason to continue. It's a relief to know that Morale and the others' efforts haven't gone to waste. Dad and the miners got to go back to the mine today. Seeing them happy makes me kinda happy too. Is that weird? It's a great relief to know that Logi can return to the mine. Can't say for sure I'll become a crossbow from here on out, but as long as the younger generation stays strong and grounded, I'm sure there's hope for the future. Max is feeling better again, and thank goodness for that. Seeing him and his fellow miners so hard at work is nothing short of inspiring. As a proud woman of Mainz, it's my duty to support them as best I can. Was there... Yeah, I almost missed him. Never thought I'd see anything like this in my lifetime. Snap out of it, Carlos. Now's not the time to gain weak in the knees. Mine's open again, everyone's motivated to work. I've got to look on the bright side of things. I don't know where specifically it is here. I'm hoping I don't have to go down there through the gate. Okay, I went the wrong way. I'm gonna go towards Crossbell. Not here. That's the one I'm looking for, I believe. Milled flour. Pinion. There it is. So that's the one that's going to be kind of hard to get. Man, they really did a number on the rails. So yeah, I'm just going to hop out and I'll see you in the next spot. Okay, I stopped there. I did some cooking off camera. I pretty much went through all my ingredients. I need to get more before we go any further forward. What could have possibly caused that pale blue tree to appear in Crossbell? Will it bring light to this land, or disaster? Even us men and women of the cloth couldn't begin to say. Oh, Hamel-Tamel, I'm so happy you're safe. Thank you, Adios. Thank you for your mercy. Sister Juju, you don't have to bawl about it, you know? We're glad you're okay too, Sister Juju. Then Kota and Yugo are safe too, right? As are all the rest of the children? Thank you, guys. Yeah, all the kids in the city are totally doing fine. Thanks for worrying about us, Sister Juju. What's Sister Juju turning on the waterworks for? We were the ones who were worried about her. Whatever, we can use this to tease her with later. Let's go check on old man Quint. Ah, crap, there he was. I ran right by him. The police came by a little while ago to ask me some questions. Even though I refuse to believe it, there's just no way Ian Grimwood would do something so heinous. We know, it's hard to accept. But it's the reality, no matter how much we try to deny it, and the only way to uncover his true motives is to ask him ourselves. This is the first time I've been able to visit the cemetery since those monsters showed up in the city. It was anxiety-inducing at first, but the thought of my dearly departed gave me all the courage I needed. I have him to thank for keeping me safe. I'm sure he was watching over me from heaven. No line there. Guys, Tatvas. My heart aches just looking at them, all those cuts. Must be Arios' handiwork. I guess those two went at it pretty hard. Yeah. But look closely, you can see a lot of smaller nicks and scratches too. There's even marks from all the repeated repairs that were made to them. My brother strove for the truth and never gave up, no matter what barrier stood in his way. These Tanvas, they're a reflection of Gaia's will, the values he lived his life by. You might be onto something there. If we hope to resolve this crisis and close my brother's case, then we'll have to overcome Arios in the process, and Mr. Grimwood too. That's the only way to reach the truth you sought. I'll be looking after these Tanvas for a while longer, Guy, so please, lend me your strength. Lloyd, you have the rest of us here too, in case you've forgotten. She's right, man. It's gonna take the combined efforts of all of us to bring Kia home. You're right. I know I can always count on you guys. Now let's do this. So yeah, that will be the last time we visit the grave, sadly. Let me tell you, that tree popping up out of nowhere gave me and every other trader I know a real shock. I'm not worried, though. I know Adios will keep us safe as long as we pray. You should try it, too. Just send the gods a few prayers and everything will come up roses. There will undoubtedly be people coming in droves seeking aid from the church. We'll have to prepare accordingly so that we're ready to welcome them in. The President is in custody now, however the situation in Crossbell is still anything but encouraging. This land may very well be dragged into the throes of war yet again. That great tree that appeared in the woodlands is unlike anything recorded in the Testaments. Contending against it may be beyond the means of mankind. I wouldn't count us out just yet. Leave this to us. And if we prove you wrong and solve this mess, I'll be expecting your full cooperation from now on. Don't hold your breath. If it is for the sake of Crossbell, then I will consider it. May the grace of the goddess be with you all. I was finally able to make contact with the children outside the city. It may still be a while before Sunday school classes can resume, but for now, this is relief enough. Lloyd, Ellie, I must ask you something. Kia is inside of that tree, isn't she? You could tell, Sister Marble? By the looks on your faces, yes. Can't speak as of the details of what you're up against, but I do feel compelled to say one thing. As Kia's guardians, it is your duty to bring her back safely, no matter what. Am I clear? Of course, we'll do no less. Couldn't really figure out, like, what tone she was trying to take there, but... I don't know. That's always the hard part in games, older games like this. Where's the teleporter? I think the potato is actually one of those things I needed. So I want to hit up St. Ursula before I actually go in. Time 7. Nope, not that one. At this point, I'm kind of tempted... Okay. It's actually marked there, that's cool. I did not mean to fight this sucker. That fight went by so fast, I may not remember to remove it, so just an explanation of wondering why it's still there. It's the next screen. Thing. But yeah, I figure this is the one people are waiting for. Hey, what's up with the giant tree, and how is it glowing blue like that? Just spring up out of nowhere, too. What is this, some kind of fairy tale? At any rate, I'll do what I can to keep the hospital safe. My apologies, everyone. I'll have to excuse myself here. Are you sure, Risha? Still not ready, huh? Wait, Risha? Why not come with us? The least you can do is hear Ilya's voice again. Hear her voice? You don't think you'll be ready to face her until the dust has settled, right? I get why you feel that way, and I respect your decision. Would standing outside of Ilya's room while we visit and hearing what she has to say go against that? It doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. We've already come this far. Can't you reward yourself just a little? Yes. Keep in mind that our toughest battles are still to come. Ilya's one of the people you're fighting for. Surely it would give you strength to hear from her. I don't see why not. As long as she doesn't see you and you don't speak with her, you wouldn't be going against your vow. If you keep putting this off, it might be too late by the time you change your mind. You're right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll do it then. I'll come along and stand outside the room while you visit her, if you don't mind, that is. Of course we don't. Now let's go see Ilya. So this is where you were, Cecile. Hello, Lloyd. I had to come out and have a look at that tree for myself. I've never seen anything like it. The sight of it is completely alien, yet somehow soothing, almost endearingly so. It pains me that I can empathize, It pains me that I can empathize. Belle did say that tree itself is Kia. But that way, maybe it's not such an inexplicable feeling after all. Say, Lloyd, you're all headed there, aren't you? That's right. Somewhere in that tree we'll find Kia, as well as the truths we've been looking for. No matter how dangerous it may be, we can't turn back now. We have to keep moving forward. I understand. But if I'm being completely honest, I want nothing more than to keep you here with me away from danger. 3 years ago, I lost someone I loved very dearly. I can't bear to go through that again. Cecile. But I know if Guy were with us today, he'd be doing the exact same thing as you. He would leap into action without a second thought to protect what was most dear to him. You're right, Cecile. So that being the case, I want you to promise me one thing. That you'll come back safely, with Kia's smiling face in tow. If you can give me your word on that, I'll stay right here waiting patiently for you to return. Cecile. It's a promise. Just give us some time and we'll be back before you know it. This is going to be our most difficult battle yet, but we will prevail. That's right, nothing is going to stop us from bringing Kia home. We've also got to beat some sense into Arios, too. I suppose somebody has to. Thank you, everyone. I think I can be at ease now. And as a little symbol of our promise, I want you to have this. Valiant Heart. What's this, Cecile? A present Guy gave to me when I took my final exam in nursing school. Whenever I feel I'm in need of his personal brand of strength and courage, I just take this pen in my hand and clutch it tight. It's very precious to me, so as part of our promise, I want you to bring it back safely with you. It'd be our honor. We'll make sure to return this once everything's settled. Good. Then may the blessings of the goddess be with you all. So, nice surge of stats, but sadly speed is not one of them, and it doesn't give you status immunity. I want you to be especially careful out there, Risha. Ilya doesn't say it, but I can tell that you've been on her mind ever since she woke up. You think so? Search and leisure. I'll be right here waiting for your safe return. May the blessings of the goddess be with you always, Lloyd. The Defense Forces assigned soldiers to escort ambulances and buses along the highway. Between those injured during martial law and those who otherwise couldn't visit the hospital until now were nearing capacity. Fortunately, Aelia from the Bracer Guild came to lend a hand. I feel like it will be alright with her here. We have a lot of patients to take care of today, so make sure you eat all the food you can, Michaud. You're gonna need it with how hard you'll be working on site today. Yes, ma'am. I won't let you down. Just try not to eat too fast. Choki might be one of the ones who need to be taken care of. That's it, Michaud. Eat as much as you can. Just try not to swallow too fast. Choki might be the one who needs taken care of. I got a call from Mr. Hayworth earlier. He said he'd be stopping by the hospital today. I asked him to bring a fresh supply of vegetables from Amorca for me to cook some proper dishes with. A nutritious meal is the most important thing you can give yourself, so I'm sure this will brighten the patient's days. Can I actually buy those here? It's actually better that I don't. I need to cash in my Sepith at Orcus Tower, so, yeah. Nothing there. Nothing there. The faculty's morale is shot right up since we started receiving outpatients again. Everyone's going full throttle to take care of our new arrivals, so I'm going to match their pace and clean my little heart out. Well, just trying to make sure there's not that much of a line before you clean anything out, let alone a heart. No one up here either, jeez. Okay, at least we have the janitor. That tree's really something else, eh? Even around here, you can make out all the tiny details on it. Kinda makes me wonder if our little crossbell's gonna be alright when this is all said and done. Nothing there. I'm trying to remember if we even had to explore the place. I don't think we did in this game. You have to in 0, but I'll stay behind while you all go inside. Of course, whatever you're comfortable with. Trust us, we won't let on that you're out here. Speak for yourself, Randy. I was wondering where you all were. I can tell things have taken a turn for the worse. They're saying some bizarre giant tree sprouted up out of nowhere. Yeah, the situation's complicated at the moment. To tell you the truth, we don't have the answers ourselves. As much as we'd like to, we can't say for certain that the hospital's safe either. Take care of yourself, Ilya. We'd hate for something to happen to you again. Don't you worry about me, Ellie. I don't know exactly what's going on out there. But I do know you kids are going to pull through. As long as you keep on finding the things that matter most to you are always in your reach. Same goes for me. I'm not giving up until I take to the stage again. You're in the final act now, boys and girls. Get out there and finish what you started. Thank you, Ilya. Hell yeah. Nothing like a pep talk from the fervent dancer to get you raring to go. By the way, there's a certain someone over there who's so worried she just couldn't stay away, am I right? Ilya, how did you... You could tell? I don't know who it is, but they must be a shy little sweetheart. One who's ironically reserved in spite of that strikingly perfect body of theirs. Doesn't know my ass. So much for not noticing her. Well, mystery stranger, whoever you are, you should know that I've already started my rehabilitation. So if you don't keep practicing, I'm going to catch up and pass you again in no time. If you don't want to be left behind, you'd better settle things quickly so we can finish what we started. One more thing, take care and look after yourself, because no matter how strong you are, you're still a young girl. With that said, just like on our stage, there are some strengths that only a woman can show. So as you remember that, I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sorry, Ilya. Well, I think I've taken enough of your valuable time for one visit. You all had better be careful too, little guy. I don't want to find out you made my darling Cecile cry, you know? We won't, Ilya. Wouldn't dream of it. I owe you an apology, Risha. I never imagined she'd be able to notice you from outside the room. You were trying to conceal your presence with that magical yin hoo-ha, weren't you? How the heck did she catch on? Simply put, Ilya is a genius. She probably knew it was from me from the sound of my footsteps and the pattern of my breaths. After all, synchronizing our breathing is something we're used to doing when we perform. If only she could be this sharp and attentive to things unrelated to the stage, too. She can be a little untidy behind the scenes. Such things are what we have come to expect from Ilya. She really is full of surprises. Yes, her words were just what I needed to strengthen my own resolve. I'm ready, everyone. Let's go. We're right there with you, Risha. Every step of the way. Nope. We need to go back in. Hey, little guy. You're just the man I wanted to see. Do me a favor and take this. Fervent Dancer's hairpin. What's this? It's the hair ornament I was wearing on stage during my first night as Arkansas's lead performer. I've been holding on to it ever since. Helps me keep the same resolve I had with me that night. It's quite the collector's item, you know. I'll say, there are some nuts who'd kill to get their hands on that thing. Ilya, I can't take something like this. No one is this important to you. Oh, it's fine. Just think of it as a gift for all that you've done for me. Want you to carry it with you as a good luck charm, okay? Alright, thank you, Ilya. I'll cherish it. I know you kids are going to pull through, as long as you keep on finding the things that matter most to you are always in your reach. Same goes for me. I'm not giving up until I take to the stage again. Now get out there and finish what you started. And do me a favor. Take care of the girl who's standing outside my room right now. She's kind of important to me. And we don't get an extra scene. So... Fervent Dancer hairpin. Strength, arts, and speed. Yeah, I'm willing to part with that. Tio can hit a little harder now. She's at 98 speed. I think I have an extra Grail Locket, so... Yeah, I'm just better off keeping the speed. Howdy there, Triple S. Good day, everyone. Inspector Donovan. Is it alright for you to be out of bed already? Sure is. Just had my discharge approved a little while ago. Heard all about the operation you guys pulled in the city, so I'm ready to get up there and start pulling my weight. Granted, he was originally supposed to stay longer so they could continue to observe his progress. But Donnie was practically begging to be let go. I gave him the okay so long as he doesn't overdo it. I bet Raymond's going to be stoked to see you back in action. With you returning, Inspector, the 2nd Division will practically be at full strength again. Well, I'm not at 100% just yet, but I'll try to help out however I can without letting myself back in this room. I know you kids are about to have the fight of your lives, so be careful. We will, Inspector. Plan is to get back to the force ASAP. Can't say how useful I'll be, but I'm sure there's some way I can help. I can tell you kids are about to have the fight of your lives, be careful. And that's a repeat. So real quick, we didn't get an achievement for Ilya. Search and Leisure was the one we just got. Had a phone call there. So the Search and Leisure was the 100-hour mark. It just popped up at the exact right time to look like it was an achievement for Cecile. So we still have to... We got the Kia item, we got the Fran item, we got the Cecile item, and the Ilya. We have to find Sully. Oh well. After I'm done with my rounds, I have more surgery scheduled for later. Talk about a busy day. Still, a doctor's duty never changes, no matter what may be going on elsewhere. We have a responsibility to help those who are close at hand. That's what it means to be a medical professional. The doctors seem especially frazzled with their rounds today. Not that that's any surprise, what with the sudden influx of new patients. Just hope they manage to handle it all. I received word that I'll be able to leave the hospital today. It's been a huge weight off my shoulders. I know things outside are a total mess right now, but I still want to go home and be there for my family. Just when I thought things could get any crazier, that tree showed up out of nowhere. Martha told me to keep my composure for the sake of the patients, but that's easier said than done. I don't know how much longer I can hold it together. Now that we can accept outpatients again, we're as busy as we've ever been, if not more so. I can only imagine how many people have been cut from coming in for a visit these past few weeks. I'm not going to let a little rush affect me or my nurses. We can handle this. Let's split up the patients, Saron. We'll get those temperatures taken in no time. Right behind you, Maifa. You got your thermometer ready? Right here. That's not a thermometer, Saron. It's not? How is it possible to get this much wrong? The girl's going to be the death of me, I swear. Silly me, it's not even the right size, but it looks so similar that I mixed them up. And you can only wonder what she mistook for a thermometer. I'm not going to make the joke. I'm so bored. The hospital doesn't even have a subscription to Hotshot. It'd be nice if we could at least get a visitor, one with a copy of Hotshot on them, ideally. What in Adios' name is that giant blue tree to the east? Oh, Adios, we beseech you, please save us. My mother's being discharged, so I'm here to pick her up. She's been stuck at the hospital all this time. Can't wait to bring her home to us. Before President Qua's arrest, nobody was allowed to come to the hospital for anything that wasn't urgent. How could you be so heartless? To a parent, any illness or injury a child suffers is urgent. I don't want to take any medicine if it's going to taste all nasty. Finally able to come see my friend in the hospital. Must have been lonely enduring all these weeks without any visitors. We have a lot of catching up to do. Hint, get him a copy of Hotshot. Hello, Triple S. I know things may seem bad right now, but now's not the time to lose faith. Hope we can all go have fun again sometime after everything's settled. No need to ask me twice, I'll hold you to it, Lan. Better days are ahead. We'll make sure to make it back in one piece. Thank goodness we're finally able to admit outpatients again. Our workload's going to increase, of course, but I couldn't be happier to help those in need. If not for the Triple S, this wouldn't be possible. Please accept my sincerest thanks for all you've done for Crossbell. We shouldn't get ahead of ourselves, considering that we still lack medical supplies. Even so, being able to see our regular patients again is a victory in itself. The sooner we treat them, the better. For Crossbell to pull through this crisis, St. Ursula must be at the forefront. Not just our doctors, but the staff as a whole. I'm so tired of waiting around. Thank the gods we can finally come to the hospital, if only it weren't so crowded. Doctors must have their hands full. I hope they'll be alright. Couldn't tell you enough how important access to a hospital is for us older folk. Certainly a load off my shoulders that they're accepting appointments here again. It's good to see more outpatients like me are being admitted again. Been a loss since my prescription ran out. That was before we got word that it was okay to come here. I'm escorting any patients who haven't been able to come to the hospital until now. That applies to more people than I expected, as it turns out. It's going to take me several trips to help them all. You're really going above and beyond. Try not to overexert yourself, Aeolia. Loving words of concern from my darling Tio. Her reactions are always so blunt and calculating, yet underneath it is a caring sweetheart. I'm beginning to think that she and Schieffer Alberts would go along well. Maybe they're long-lost cousins or something, who knows. I heard what happened to Shizuka McLean, that her eyesight has been completely restored. As her former doctor, I should be ecstatic for her, but can't help but have mixed feelings. Given what we witnessed the last several weeks, I can only imagine her recovery is also tied to some sort of miraculous power. As a medical practitioner, it's frustrating to feel so powerless in comparison. My apologies. Forget I said anything. Obstinacy is just an unfortunate habit of mine. We're swamped with patients right now, but it's not going to slow me down. Not even half the woman Dr. Salen is, but one day I aim to be just as capable as her. Some of the patients' conditions have been worsening due to the stress of what's happening in the state. Psychology is a tad outside our scope here at St. Ursula, but I'd at least like to provide these patients with a little peace of mind. I'll be assisting you with the surgery today, Dr. Gailey. Very well. They tell me you synthesized a new anesthetic. Prepare them for me if you'd be so kind. Well, seems that bald head of yours isn't so empty after all. My head may be bare, but at least it's clean, unlike that filthy caterpillar on your lip. That said, you seem to have an air of dignity about you today, as if you stepped right out of back alley Dr. Glenn. Well, shall we get on with the surgery? No time like the present. Let's. I should expect nothing less from an adversary worthy of my talents. Now then, we have patients waiting for us. Let's get to work. I may not like Dr. Lago, but there is no one else I can rely on more than him. Right now, I just feel as if there isn't a surgery in the world I can pull off flawlessly. I'm at a loss for words. Okay, let's just keep going. The chief is pretty laid back, but she's been more focused than ever since that tree appeared. Now that she's all keyed up, she'll probably end up working the next 3 days straight. I'll have to make sure I don't have any plans. That tree appeared in the wetlands is unlike anything I've ever seen or read about. By what means did it appear? For what purpose? This is a scientific marvel for the ages. So yeah, let's see if things are a little bit more serious inside Crossbell City, since this place was good for quite a few laughs. Well, at least we found a use for the garage. Okay, try to keep it serious, hero. Let's face it, it's futile. So let's find out if we succeed in our quest. Did we keep the feline fed? Fish fillet. And katse. Oh my, are you giving this to me? Thanks, Kope. We'll make sure to put it to good use. So it's a bit of a play on words. You get the katse from the cat. You absorb magic attacks, mirage, yada yada. Like, you need a lot more regen than that, and this is already at level 3. Like, if it were 15 at level 1, maybe this would be something decent, but, just to put it in context for you real quick. If we were to throw out a Genesis Flood to wipe the field, it's 176. I'm just going to assume at max rank you'd be probably like 25 on kill, and you run into like 4 enemies, I want to say, on average per screen, so we'd be losing 76 EP as we go. So yeah, Katse is more for bragging purposes. It means you kept your feline fed. Oh, okay, I thought we could accept the missions there. No, Sergey. Well, time to do the rounds for one last time. Final patrol. Feels like the whole city's finally calming down, aside from that giant spooky tree, that is. Looks like we have a long road ahead of us. Times like these call for everyone to do their part. Clutch hammer, Pentagon. So yeah, we have a great Joker. Yep, nothing new we need from him. We have to do something special at Gen 10, though. Daddy said he has to go to work now. You're always working too, right, Lloyd? Just so you know, I'm always cheering for you, so don't give up, okay? We won't. Thanks, Mimi. My husband said he's returning to City Hall, so I think me and Mimi will head back home. I'm sure there'll be plenty to worry about in the future, but as long as we stick together as a family, nothing will bring us down. Suppose it's time I head back to Orcus Tower. Things are probably strung up in chaos over there. Gonna need my help to get things back in gear. I know things are looking rough, but don't get discouraged, Lloyd. After all those hardships you've been through, nothing's gonna stop you from solving this case, too. So anything I'm positive about it's that, so have some confidence and get out there. Thanks, Kate. It means a lot. I'm not aware of the details, but it seems like we lost an ally in these aeons. Or perhaps weapon would be more apt. Whether or not his methods were just, I'm positive President Qual only ever procured them for Crossville's protection. Despite all the chaos he caused, I just can't bring myself to condemn him for it. I can. I think Salteo has finally turned the corner when it comes to cooking. Good for him. Maybe I can retire soon after all. There's no telling what will happen in the city, but I do know one thing. I want to keep making delicious food for everyone to eat. We're going to have limited access to ingredients going forward, but we can get around that with some ingenuity. Never been more fired up to cook. Watch out, world, here comes Silteo. Now that I think about it, do I still have... Yes, I still have Ingenuity. I think that set has a bright future with Silteo and Nano working here. Crossbow has quite a lot of issues to overcome before I can retire, though. But as long as we work together, I'm sure there's nothing we can't solve. Glowing blue tree, huh? It's getting harder to separate fantasy from reality these days. I think I'm gonna need more caffeine for this. Can't go wrong with that, am I right? Silteo is surprisingly motivated today. He actually makes me feel a little better despite everything going on outside. What is it with that giant tree? It's like totally insane. Light coming off of it is pretty and stuff, but I don't know, it just gives me the creeps for some reason. Like, what's gonna happen now? Weird giant tree or not? I guess that would be correct. Weird giant tree or not, it feels good to go outside. All that martial law was making me crazy. I think I'll take this opportunity to pick up some snacks for Sarone. She's gonna love it. I don't know how to pronounce her name, just to reiterate. Looking for stuff I don't have a lot of. Well, there goes the most of my money. I can get 1 carrot. Now, in the event you're curious, I will whip out the recipe book. I have all the peddler noodles, dragon fried rice, braised stew I still need. Both of, unfortunately. We're missing 2 recipes, both of which are here. I know where to find them, don't worry. For this one, we have to get the good one. He might be able to do it. Come on, Lloyd, you're on camera. Don't choke, don't choke, don't choke. There we go. Can use the carrot here. 2 for 2? Well, there goes our carrot. So we need the carrot for the cotton candy, for the sweet chocolate. Lloyd might be able to do the desserts. We don't need to worry about the gelato. Cappuccino we need the milk for. That one's gonna be tough. They all seem confident in it. So, real quick, we'll do a little bit of cooking on camera. Get rid of the emerald gem for Prankster. Of course, he doesn't choke. There we go. You're killing me, Lloyd. Specifically my wallet. He's 3 for 3 when he has a negative affinity for plus Prankster. Like, some of this cooking stuff just drives me freaking insane. That one included. That one's a dice roll. I don't know who's bad with that one. Come on. You need redemption. Scott was here a little while ago. Thankfully, he's been holding up okay. Watching him work so hard for all of us makes me want to do my part, too. Nesta makes some excellent points. I still have a lot to learn, both as an entrepreneur and as a salesman. Nevertheless, I want to do the thing in my position to help Crossbill in the here and now. No sooner had martial law ended than that bizarre tree appeared out of thin air. Calvert and Ereboni are no less of a threat either. It begs the question, what could I as an individual do in the face of such an unprecedented hardship? The answer is the same for myself as it is for every one of us. We must think rationally and act on our best judgment. The best thing merchants like us can do at a time like this is keep our services open to those who need them. With international trade routes still closed, our supplies are going to be limited, but I'm sure we'll get by one way or another. And he does have a new issue of the Crossbill Times. It's 100. Did that tree really pop out of thin air? Is this a dream? A magic trick? Someone pinch me. I can do better and toss you over the ledge. How's that sound? As we stood outside, that giant tree popped up out of nowhere. I don't know what that thing is all about, but it better not get in the way of my retail therapy. While the store will struggle to acquire imported goods, we'll always have our custom ordering to fall back on. We also plan to contract more artisans as part of Hanson Shoe's commitment to providing customers with a full range of services. Yeah, that's a step down for Lloyd. Oh, I just remembered something. Crap. All of our retailers are committed to staying open to help everyone during these trying times. Same goes for me. I'm going to give this every bit of manpower, no, lady power I have. Just do the job right. No one has any idea where that tree came from, but at least it doesn't appear to be any immediate threat. I wouldn't mind if it vanished as quickly as it appeared, though. That thing's a terrible eyesore. The sight of that massive tree immediately brought to mind the floating structure that appeared over Laboral last year. At least in our case, our orbits still work, thank heavens for that. I don't think we need anything there. I've been mulling over, and I think it's finally time to launch my new brand. Adversity breeds innovation, as they say. I'm going to roll out fashion lines everyone across the continent will love. And yeah, I don't think we... It's only like a 5 art game, but we lose 100 defense on TO, so no. Forgot the roof. The blue glow coming from that tree makes it look positively enchanting. How'd that tree go so big? Man, life sure is weird, huh? What's with that giant tree in the sky? Just when I thought it was finally safe to come out, too. It's not gonna come falling down on us, is it? This must be what existential dread feels like. What's with the huge tree in the sky? It shouldn't even be physically possible. Wait, should I really be staying here hanging out balloons right now? To be honest, I'm in no mood to shop, but staying at home wasn't doing my nerves any favors. Hopefully things go back to normal soon so I can shop for appliances in peace. And then Fernando's in the department store, so he won't be here. Choco, my sweet little girl. She has no idea how worried her dear old dad's been about her. I'm gonna die of embarrassment if my dad keeps staring holes at me like this. Still, in a way, it's comforting to know that he's concerned about me. Good to see you, Triple S. Congrats on finally putting a stop to the big bad president. Crossbow's wild ride isn't over and done with just yet, though. Best of luck to us both, Lloyd. Thanks, we're gonna need it. Don't let anything stop you from keeping this place standing, okay, Wendy? We're gonna need someone to tinker with our Enigma 2s when it's all said and done. You betcha, Lloyd. I can't just send you out there with nothing but my well wishes, though, so here, take these. 3 EP charge 3s. Thanks, Wendy. These will definitely come in handy. No sweat, least I can do. Anyway, I'm sure you have more important places to be. Keep safe, alright? Once all this blows over, you, me, and Oscar should get something to eat together for old time's sake. Sounds like a plan. So, just making sure we got all those quartz. So right now I'm just going down the list to make sure I have one of everything. If I see a 0, it's getting made. Okay, we do have everything they have to offer. Now, it's possible I may have to build something for when I go downtown. Basically, we're going to look and see what we can trade in at Django's place. Or not Django, but Ashley's place, 9 Bali. We'll hit get a Nana on the way out. My dad has been stuck in a slump since the train stopped running, but he immediately cheered up once he realized he could start fixing up other machines that run on wheels. Engineers are so stubborn. My engineering expertise is going to waste with the transcontinental railroad down like this. Maybe I could focus on orbital bus or car maintenance instead. I think I'll head up to the Civic Center and see if I can't find some work over there. Ryu said he and the other kids were going to go help out with the neighborhood, though how they plan on doing it is beyond me. I wanted to take the time and teach him the ways of the merchant, but he found a respectable excuse to slip away. Well, suppose I can't blame him for being restless at a time like this. Cecile called a little while ago to let me know she's safe. There was clearly something weighing on her mind, though. And I get the impression it wasn't just about how busy the hospital's been keeping her. Would you mind checking on her when you have time? Maybe she just needs someone to talk to. And we've already done that, so don't worry. That big tree is so blue. It almost feels blue, too. Wonder why, though. I've been kinda on edge ever since that giant tree showed up. I wish Yuna was here right now. She'd know what to do. Come on, guys. Time to start patrolling the city. You ready, Henri? Momo? Yes, sir, Captain Ryu. Let's go. Alright, Junior Triple S, let's do this. It's time to roll out. I'm trying to remember. They were using that term, I think, in Cold Steel... No, it would have been Cold Steel 4. Junior Triple S, huh? I have to say, I'm flattered. Hey, guys. You go take care of that big tree. We'll protect Crossbill City while you're gone. Me, Ryu, and Henri are gonna go help everyone in trouble. The city needs us. The Junior Triple S has a nice ring to it. Ryu comes up with some neat ideas every once in a while. We should go help out as many people in the city as we can if we want to live up to the name. It's been so long since I've been able to get a cup of coffee at Morge's. It really makes me wish things in Crossbill would go back to normal, or at least start to. Guess that can't happen with that giant tree looming over us. If I plan on outdoing Oscar, I'm gonna have to bake every kind of bread imaginable to make everyone happy. Still, I know I'm lagging behind when it comes to my actual results. As much as it makes me want to hurl, I'm not gonna improve unless I suck it up and take some advice from him. Hey, thanks for coming. Baked a loaf of my newest bread just for you guys. Help yourselves. Final stretch. Wow, smells amazing. Looks delicious too. I know, right? It's my latest and greatest. Figured I'll ease with how hard you've been working. Maybe it'll give you that last bit of energy you need to power through. I hope so, Oscar. Thank you. So if you want to see it, 25,000 HP. I was thinking about doing the math to see which one's more efficient, but I just don't care. Nothing brightens up my day like a visit to Morge's bakery. It's like I was born to eat their bread. I'm gonna buy enough for the whole family before I return home. The government didn't ration out nearly enough wheat to produce the standard bread we hold ourselves to. But at least we can get fresh ingredients from our morgue, and now the travel restrictions have been lifted. Gonna need Oscar and Benet to work harder now than I ever have before. Get a whip. That gigantic blue tree came from out of nowhere. No telling what could happen now, but I should probably document it with some photos for posterity. Just how does my husband plan to pay for this underground shelter he keeps going on about? Financial responsibility is one trick that old dog simply refuses to learn. The world gets more dangerous every day I get out of bed, so I'm thinking of building an underground shelter for me and the wife. Let's see that tree get us down there. Technically the tree won't, but the roots will. Just saying. They're saying the president had some rather questionable facilities built into Orcus Tower's interior structure. I'm disgusted. I helped design the exterior of that building, but it was all only ever a shell to hide his sordid schemes in. He deceived each and every one of us. Good riddance to President Claw, I say. My husband may despise the president, but it hasn't stopped him from starting on his newest project. After what happened in the city, he received reconstruction requests from all sorts of companies looking to bolster their security. Hopefully this gives him something new to be passionate about so he can follow this tower business behind him. That tree in the wetlands is making me uneasy, but I still have a job to do here. Sully's been practicing non-stop with Arkansas too, so I have no excuse to be slacking off. I plan on keeping Ilya's apartment spotless until she recovers enough to come home. Her heart is gonna break when Ilya's actually in the sucker. Oh well. We're performing a sweep of the building and its immediate surroundings right now. So far we managed to unlock the door to the second floor. Detectives are hoping to uncover some evidence there. Here's Pete. Mr. Grimwood, why? Pete? It's you guys. Good day, Triple S. Congratulations on your successful operation. Thank you, Detective Emma. Are you and your men searching the building? Correct. The First Division is combing the premises for any possible evidence, material witnesses included. Cruel as it may seem, we're having Pete stand present for the investigation as Mr. Grimwood's ward and sole employee. No, it's okay. I want to help. Mr. Grimwood told me something before he left. It struck me as odd, so I wanted to come and check it out. That's right, he mentioned wanting you to clean out his desk, didn't he? Odd is certainly the word there. Why would he request that of all things, especially in a situation so urgent? Well, I think I found the answer to that just a little while ago. Here. Pete pulled out an unsealed envelope. That must be a letter from him. May we read it? Pete nodded. Dear Pete, first and foremost, I would like to apologize for leaving you with this letter so suddenly. After I took you in as both my ward and assistant in my office, the two of us shared many happy days together. For years I had been stricken with grief over one fateful day in my past, living for the sole purpose of bringing a certain project to fruition, and I could never thank you enough for changing that. There were moments when having you in my life made me second-guess my path, but the wheels were already set in motion. It is too late for me to turn back, and the project has passed the point of no return. So please, Pete, forget about me and live the happy life you deserve. I will pray to Adios from afar that you grow into the bright young man that I know you can become. Ian Grimwood. Mr. Grimwood? We've seized any remaining documents we found on his desk. Among them was a lengthy instructional memo on how to handle his clients moving forward, as well as procedural paperwork arranged for Pete's guardianship. Mr. Grimwood, why did you have to do this? How am I supposed to be happy if it means forgetting about everything he's ever done for me? Pete. The fact that he even asked proves he is indeed a fool. Take it from me. One measly-ass letter isn't going to cut ties with everyone you're leaving behind. Exactly. Pete, we're going to go track down Mr. Grimwood, and then we're going to shed a light on everything he's done and bring him back to answer for it. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, take care of Mr. Grimwood. Thank you, everyone. Please take care. And then we can read the letter again if need be. From the looks of it, this project of Ian Grimwood's has been in the works for a long time. The First Division will continue searching the premises of the Grimwood Law Office. Wish you all the best of luck. And if you ever want to see what the second floor looks like, here you go. We discovered evidence of frequent communication with Orcus Tower on this terminal. This must be where he masterminded his operations, issuing commands to Dieterqua and his associates. We found some materials related to the alchemy of the Middle Ages, as well as the ancient Zemurian civilization. They look ancient. It must have taken years to build up this collection. Just how long has Ian Grimwood been planning all this? Almost missed this one on my way out. With international trade still restricted, we're limited on what kinds of goods we can stock. It's nice to see Crucible starting to edge a bit closer to normal again, though. I'll have to work as hard as I can if I want to make sure my family gets through this. Momo, she ran out hollering about how she and her friends were going to go and help the people of the city. I don't think I've ever seen her so determined before. Letting her play outside without adult supervision worries me, of course, but perhaps it's best I respect her space a bit. It's been a while since we had dinner together as a family, so I stepped out to get some groceries, but then I saw it. How did the tree even grow to be that stinging huge? It's giving me the creeps. Did you hear? The Hayworths are back from Armorica Village. Thank goodness they're okay. I've missed Sophia's cooking lessons. Families ought to be there for one another during times like these. Needless to say, I'm glad my son and daughter-in-law have returned home. My mother-in-law really helped keep her kids' spirits up while we were gone. I don't think I could ever thank her enough for that. My coworkers and I were locked inside Orcus Tower overnight. My family must have been so worried. I'm glad we finally made it out of there. Hello, Triple S. It does my heart good to know that you're all safe. Did you just get back from Armorica, Mr. Hayworth? I did. We left as soon as we saw the barrier around the city disappear. I'll be heading out the door again soon enough, though. Back to work so soon? Sure you don't want to chill with your family a while longer? You haven't slept in your own bed in weeks. Maybe so, but I can hardly expect to get any rest when there are desperate cross-bellins out there in need of help. I plan on making my way to Mainz first and continuing from there. I see. You always were one to put others ahead of yourself, Mr. Hayworth. As long as you promise to be careful, we won't stop you. Of course, I only ask that you do the same in return. May the goddess keep you out of harm's way. There they are. Mama made Papa a lunchbox for his work trip. She used a bunch of the veggies that Camille's mama gave us. It looked so yummy. Thought this would finally be her chance to slow down and relax, but Harold has other plans. Still, he wouldn't be the man I married if he weren't so thoughtful and hardworking. Helping others is what he wants to do right now, then he has my full support. I heard President Claw was arrested. He had my support when he was inaugurated, but his methods went several steps too far past the line. We have to remember that we live in a world with consequences. Now Claw has to answer for his crimes. So these three did bounce, unless they somehow worked their way back. Although I'm trying to blank on where we saw them at. Dang it. Three young guns calling themselves the High Bloods moved into that house not too long ago, but as soon as the barrier over the city dropped, they hightailed it out of here. Back to their native Calvert, no doubt. They don't have a car anymore, though, so what's their plan? Are they just gonna walk back to the Republic? Maybe? You're into the mysterious giant tree, aren't you, Lady Ellie? Don't worry, Joanna. We're going to come home safe and sound. Of course, milady. You've returned time and again up till now. So I have faith you'll do the same this time, too. Until then, please, take care. Master Henry has assumed temporary command of Orcus Tower for the time being. He is, after all, the only one currently qualified to lead Crossbell following the President's arrest. This is a heavy burden to place on the shoulders again, but if anyone will give his all for Crossbell, it's him. And I need to take a break, grab some stuff to drink, and so on in a moment, so once the screen loads, I'm gonna bounce.